as is customary on the PGM Radio Show.
Talking that talk, breaking them hits from all over Nigeria. We push good music.
She coming for the pussy, she gon' take, I beat it up. Yeah, pardon me, I thought that shit was funny. Me, I'm all about to get that money, get it, honey, get it. Show yourself like you were playing with money. All I got is hustle focus, they can never take it from me. They look up to me, I know they look up to me. Oh, they look up to me, I know they look up to me. Whoa.
Welcome to the PGM Radio Show. Jude, this is your seat. You're hosting the show, bro. Yeah, you got to come over here, bro.
I got a new show.
I thought I was supposed to be hosting. I walk in here, I see this Douglas fellow. Sitting here.
Sorry, but this is your seat.
No. Don't worry. You can.
No.
No, you're the host. You're the host.
I gotta sit in the host spot.
You gotta sit in the host spot.
Cool.
Yeah.
We the co-hosts.
Yeah, I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is M.I. Abaga. I am the host of the PGM show tonight. You are in for an amazing night of music. You know, at the PGM Club, what we do is we highlight great music. We highlight the music that you should be listening to, and all the noise, all the clutter, all the disturbance in Lagos. You should take time to feed your mind, to feed your soul, and you know what does that for you? It's music. I'm here with my co-hosts, City Monster and Douglas Jakin, and we are having a great time tonight. We have amazing guests in the building, and the energy is going to keep getting loud. Higher and higher. This is hard, man.
You're actually doing pretty good.
Wait, you see? And he's doing great because you're a good talker, you're a good orator. But at some point, you have to understand the show has to go on. So you should maybe like, okay, you know what, guys? So we're here to play. Tell us what we're here for. Let's start with.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's my show. I just want to say that again. Yeah, we're here. I hear there's this guy called Yxng Dxnzl that put out a project.
Right.
And we're going to break it down tonight because that's what we do at the PGM show. What we don't do is argue with our guests, but we'll get to that.
Get the strap. Get the strap.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit. But we hear a big shout out to Loose Cannon. Big shout out to AQ.
Yeah, man.
All night.
Dope
we
album.
shouting them out all night.
Dope album. Wait. You know.
First verse.
All first verse. Yeah, I mean, but it's a privilege to be here. I really big shout out to the PGM guys. You guys are doing an amazing job, and I'm here, man. I mean, Douglas called me up as he always does when I put something out, and he just told me, you know, come through. Let's dissect the album. Let's spend time talking about music, and I appreciate that.
No,
you know,
always, bro. We got too much love for you out here. Let me tell you, one of the reasons why we wanted you to host the show is because for a change, let it not be us asking questions from the start or whenever a song is played, but rather we want you to take us through the motion as if you've just recorded the project and you're bringing us into your studio and we're listening to you play the record with whatever additions that you'll add your chip ins. You understand? Like whatever your message you're going to pass on after that. And I think this is very dope because it's almost like we're doing a universal studio listening because everybody else is tuning right now. Listening. Shout out to everybody who's streaming, by the way. You guys are absolutely amazing. Don't forget you can go on Instagram Live and watch the show live on Instagram.
Oh my God. I see. So my man just walked in, but then a superstar also, because I'm used to seeing this one, but I haven't seen this guy since maybe 8 years ago outside my office.
Are you serious?
Yeah. No. It's not 4 years ago, man. It was a long time ago. This is I stand for these guys.
Who are you talking about?
You know what I mean? Santi's in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Santi, shout out to you, bro.
You know what I mean?
I hear the freaky video is dropping tomorrow, huh?
Yes, but of course, also the man that made me push my album back. You know, I talk too much about him. People started saying, you know, that I favor him too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's really one of my favorite people.
But isn't it deserved? I mean, he deserves it.
Listen, I can't talk enough. Well, we're here for the show. I can't talk enough about this man, about his mind, about his purpose. Yeah. You know, we talk from the first day we met. We just hit it off, and it's been that level since then.
Shout out to the engine.
See, the engine is in the building. Shout out to him. And it's gonna be a great show, man. I'm excited.
Absolutely. So I was saying that so picture yourself being in your studio, right? And you know, you've got a few people in, and you want to play them this project. I remember when you played me a few songs, a few tracks of it when you guys took that apartment in Lekki.
Yeah, that's true. You were there.
I was there. Odunsi was there. I mean, you got most of them in at that point as well. So I know what it was like when we sat and listened to the records. Do you understand? And the conversation that ensued. But yeah, I would like people to be able to understand the depth of this project and be able for you to take them through that motion while playing the record. PGM Radio, baby.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess the first thing I'll say, and I know for PGM, a lot of artists are listening. So OC's in the building, by the way. Shout out to OC.
What up, Suave?
He's become an author now, so he doesn't remember his old friends. You know, but this is life.
Suave, this is your first time on the show, right?
Yeah. What's going on, Lagos? First time on the show. I listen to a whole lot, though.
Appreciate it, man. We totally
sure.
do. Yeah. And I see you over there. Is that Ankara or what were you in?
This is a fashion forward stuff
right
now, you know.
Lagos Bachelor gear.
God,
Lagos Bachelor gear.
One pocket, you know.
Okay.
For the girl and sexy.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were saying.
So the first thing I want to say about my artistic journey, especially on the last two projects I did, which Rendezvous and Yxng Dxnzl, are that you have to be aware when you are starting to walk paths that have been beaten by you before. So what that means is that you've already, I feel like I've already done talk about it. It's done. I've done MI2. It's done. I've done the chairman thing. It's done. I've done the illegal music thing. And I'm always listening. I'm always asking myself, what's the next thing?
Can you pause for a second?
Yeah.
Just pause. So before you arrived, me and some of the club members, we've been discussing the project off the air. And as you were saying, I was just pointing to them and saying, do you understand what the project is all about? Yeah. There's some truth to what you're saying, which I'm glad that you were able to communicate that through the project.
Yeah.
Should we say now?
No. Let me
go ahead. You just say. Just finish what you're saying.
But anyway, so the process started with me with a kid. I was in a car with a kid. So the first time I knew of these guys, the Mutants, right, was when I met Millie, and I was like, if this kid can be making this kind of music in Nigeria, then that means there are more of them. The X-Men have arrived.
Right.
So, because I felt we were the X-Men for our own time, right? And I didn't feel music had another seismic shift. And so then I'm in Abuja with Ice Prince, and he tells me there's this kid called Straffiti. Straffiti plays me a song. I said, I've never met him before. I said, I want to be on this song. We did
what year was this?
Collaboration. This is maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
3 years ago. Straffiti comes to my house. We're hanging out, and he's just fanboy. And he's like, yo, have you heard Fashina? Have you heard Odunsi the Engine? And we sit down this day. I listened to Nas. That's the first day I heard of Nasty C.
Right.
I listened to all this music, and I'm like, whoever these guys are, I want to meet them. I want to, you know. I knew Tay before that also.
Right. That's why I was asking when, because I know. Okay, correct.
So, but then again, the project didn't happen until my A&R at the time, TMXO. You know, I was, I was like, look, I'm doing my album. You know, the label was putting pressure on me, so he called together a hit squad, and they walked in, and it was GMK, it was G Clef, it was Odunsi, and again, remember, I don't know what's about to happen. For me, my project is basically done. They're bringing in some guys to come finish the album. And funnily, a lot of the songs that were on that album ended up on Crown.
Okay.
So that's how that.
So the beats, you mean the beats, right?
The beats and the music.
Right.
And so I play the music, and I can see GMK is nodding his head. G Clef, they're sort of, you know, we're still with MI, you know. But that guy, Odunsi, did not even smile. He didn't even smile. And for me, I'm always paying attention to that guy. Right. Because I always want to know what I don't know, right?
Yeah.
And so when we're done, he was like, look, you put out a picture, and this music doesn't feel like the picture. He was like, let's start again. Honest to God, I was like, do you know? I asked him, because he was looking right at me, and I said, do you know what we need to do? He said, yes. I said, okay, let's do it. So we rented an apartment. It was one of the most creative moments of my life, man. Like, just all this young energy. We're exchanging wisdom. We're talking about music. It was great. I was learning. Chopsticks was in the building. Odunsi, Remy Baggins, GMK, TMXO, Chills. People were coming in and out. There were so many artists. Tommy Thomas would show up one day. The next day it would be Young L. It would be Loose. It would be Lambo. I mean, it was such a vibe. And then when we started fleshing out the project, then we went to Abuja to go work with Tay.
Right.
And I think it was GMK, Odunsi, and I that went. And it was just great, man. It was great for me because these days I don't have time to make music.
Right.
But as much as I did before. But when I do have those like 2 weeks, I want to work with people that know exactly what
needs
doing.
to be done. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And again, I don't want to fanboy Odunsi too much, but I'll say one of the big things he did is that he would make those connections for me where I'd be like, so I'd never even heard of. I didn't know I didn't know the word sinner existed on earth. Talk less of sinner soul. And I'd be like, what do we need? And he'd be like, this is the artist. We'd send out the mail, it'd be done. I'd be like, who should be on this? He'd give me an idea, and then, you know, we just kept moving. TMXO was also huge. Chills came with a lot of ideas. And yo, man, it was really, really dope. For me, before, what I'd do, I'd record like 100 ideas and I'll whittle it down.
Yeah.
So Chairman, MI2, all these songs, I have box, like loads of music that isn't recorded. With Rendezvous, I think we ended up with like maybe, with Rendezvous and Yxng Dxnzl, maybe 40 ideas, and most of them made the project. So it wasn't a project with a lot of waste. If we weren't doing something that sounded good very early on, we just say, nah, this doesn't sound dope.
Right.
I would toss it out. And man, look, I'm completely grateful to the whole team that made the project. And in some way, I hoped, I don't know, I mean, maybe they will be able to answer that, but I hope that I'll be a vessel for people to be able to hear and understand more of what they do. I think that people, I see it now where their movement is starting to blow up. Right. And the haters have started coming, you know.
Right.
People putting all sorts of comments and stuff online. But I hope that we're not, it's not until they're all huge and successful that we appreciate it, you know, that we start to see for what it is right now. We can all support it because these guys are truly special.
Right. Listen, we couldn't agree more. And on the one hand, this is probably one of the founding reasons why we have PGM. What you call it as PGM. Mm-hmm. Because we strongly believe that we sort of need to give voice to the voiceless, but also to make people understand that there is a bigger picture than what we had before now. Yeah. Right. And what I mean by that is, I feel that we lose as a people when we're only boxed into one genre or into one particular sound. There's too much diversity and versatility in this country. Do you understand? Yeah. I mean, you can even just look at it from the mineral resources point of view. We're only harnessing the oil.
Music is education.
Right. So, I mean, it opens up a lot of gateways.
Exactly.
You know?
If people only hear linear chords, right? Mm-hmm. So if they're just hearing a mixture of, let's say, A minor, G, F, E minor, and those like 8 chords that are the easiest to play. If you start playing any instrument, if that's all they hear, that's the way they're going to think about music. They need to start thinking about music. What it does is that when you start to hear confusing things, it starts to structure your mind a certain way. Right. If you start to hear lyrics that are deeper, songs that have a couple more layers to them, right? Yeah. Songs where people are thinking on 2 levels, where you hear a punchline, and you see a lot of young guys in Nigeria that are starting to go into like advertising space, into the oil business, that are smart guys, that are on Twitter, that are very witty, that are socially conscious. They were raised on Mood 9. They were raised on that sort of thinking where it's like, I'm going to say something, but it has 2 meanings, right? If we have a country where everybody is just listening to shake it for me, shake it for me, shake it for me, that basically is going to be our level of conversation, right? At the political level, absolutely, at the religion level, absolutely, and in entertainment, you know what I mean? And it needs to get deeper than that. It needs to be. So, in other words, and bro, listen, trust me, when we say we love you and appreciate you on the show, like at the club, is because you get it, you understand that, all right? In the same breath, I'm also saying there's no shade to anyone who doesn't get it. We all just hop on the bus at different points in time. Do you understand? Absolutely. I guess. Yeah. So, but yeah, let's move back to Yxng Dxnzl.
Sorry, before we move on to with the Yxng Dxnzl,
are you gonna tell me something about my mix? And now you're gonna argue with me for the next 15 minutes.
Hey, stop! Hey,
you want to do this?
First of all, stop being.
Hey, you want to do this?
Shout out to Loose.
Offense verse, bro. Okay, so am I? So let me. So when we're done, sorry, so when we're done, when we're done, we have a message for Loose. Okay. First of all, shout out to Loose and AQ.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have to.
Hold on a second. Listen, someone sent me a message. Let me tell you what I totally loved about what I love about the listeners on the show. Right. First of all, they like whatever happens here, and we're always very thorough, right, and very raw, direct. The way the show ended last week, it caught people off guard. People were like, "Are they boys still? Are they still cool with each other?" And I was so touched when someone actually sent me a message on Instagram. He was like, "Yo, You know, I always love what the show does, what you guys are all about. I hope that you guys are not in bad blood. And I'm like, okay, wow, is that the energy that they got? Because on the one hand, it's true. I see where they're coming from. But after the mic went off, we chopped it off and we were like, yo, I'm going to see you at the spot. Yeah. So, but that notwithstanding, we have a message for that project, The Crown, after the show.
I want you to give me some 5 minutes.
Okay.
To speak up for my brothers at some point.
Please.
Can I do it now?
No. Later. I think we should play your Yxng Dxnzl.
All right, then
when we're done, we can then have a conversation where we would give you a message and you can then respond. Let's see whether we can all understand each other. Do you understand?
Right, dope. I got you, man.
Okay. Am I?
So sorry, you want to say something?
You're the host of the show, ain't you?
Yeah, I am the host. Of the show.
You're PGM tonight.
Yeah, I am PGM.
Like you the boss. You're the main man.
I am PGM.
How couldn't you just shout out Michael Jackson on his birthday in passing?
Is today Michael Jackson?
No, it's all cool. It's not. I mean, you PGM, bro.
My bad. Listen, the king of pop. The king of pop. I didn't know. Honestly, I didn't know.
He was supposed to turn 60.
King of pop. The legendary, maybe the greatest artist to ever live. Maybe, depending on where you stand. One of the most iconic black people, and that's important to say because we got to rep for our race.
Right.
To ever live. That passed away recently. Wherever you are, we know that you're smiling down on the world of music and happy with where people have taken, all the music you gave us. Happy birthday to you, sir, on behalf of the PGM and on behalf of a grateful Nigeria, for your music and influence.
Absolutely. So what do you want us to start with? We got the whole project, but what do you want to start with?
Maybe we should start with the first song that I recorded, which is set the tone for everything, is I Believe in You. Actually, you know what? I'm going to switch it up right now. What? Let's start with track 1. Do you know who you are? Take some time and meditate on it. Yeah. Can we do that? All right.
So, do you know who you are?
Do you know who you are? That's the first track.
That was the one you had Tay on it, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
Tay starts off the project.
Right. Okay.
Shout out to Tay. He sent me, as soon as I told him I was recording, he sent me 4 ideas, and 2 of them,
got on.
Yeah, at the beginning and the end of my album.
Dope. Okay. PGM Radio, guys. I shouldn't be the one saying it. Actually, M should be saying that.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, my name is M.I. Baga, the host of PGM. We are about to play something from an amazing artist called Yxng Dxnzl. It's called Do You Know Who You Are? Take some time and meditate on you. Check it out. Keep it locked to the station. Man, how do you guys do this?
As is customary on the PGM Radio Show.
Talking that talk, breaking them hits from all over Nigeria. We push good music.
We're back. We just listened to 2 songs from the Yxng Dxnzl project. Number 1 was Do You Know Who You Are? Take some time and meditate on you. And the second one was Another Thing, Do Not Be a Groupie. Yxng Dxnzl, we are excited. The music sounds great. It sounds amazing. We want you to talk to us a little bit about the process of making those songs and the mentality behind that.
Right.
Oh, wow. Wonderful question. Thank you for asking.
Come on now. All right. No, but first, I love your sense of humor, bro. Yeah. But you tell me, man. Yeah. Just break it down for us.
Well, Do You Know Who You Are is, it's a very deep song to me because I learned a long time ago, and all God's black children that are listening to this, please pay attention to this. Wherever you are in the world, where you are not black, people do not like you. If somebody likes you, it's an exception. They may be forced by law and constitution to be civil to you, but they generally just don't like you as a black person. And so this is what the song is about. My child recite the words of this ancient mythology. I felt like I was writing a verse about that I wanted kids to quote. Memorize to keep you from evil theology. For you, the darker hue, you're denied your equality. See, for generations, we perpetrated psychology, divide and conquer each other, Willie Lynch policy. Everybody listening, go research what the Willie Lynch letter was about. How he was teaching slave masters to divide slaves by separating them. He said, if you create the Yoruba slave and the Igbo slave, and
they can never come together and be a force.
He said that they will be self-generating.
Yeah.
Which means that they will carry that slavery from parent to child to child to child to child for generations. And when we look at our country today, that's what we just do. As soon as we have somebody that we can hate, we distance ourselves from that person. Listen, I'm going to say the most controversial thing here today. The Fulani herdsman in Nigeria is fighting for something.
Yeah.
And until we know what that something is, and until we can jointly solve what those problems are, the problem is just going to change name. One day it's going to be the militant, another day is going to be IPOB, another day is going to be the Fulani herdsman. But it's because we're so quick to remove ourselves from each other.
You know what?
And Omar Johnson killed it when he said, until we hate racism more than we hate, until we hate racism more than we hate each other. Until I can say, look, the West controls everything, and I hate that more than I hate, if I'm a Yoruba guy, more than I hate an Igbo guy, or more than I hate my brother down the street. Until we can hate that, nothing's going to change. We're going to be in this country. We're going to keep perpetuating and keep recycling, prejudice and the problems that are systemic in our society.
You know what? That and for me, that's the beauty of that song. When I listened to that song, it actually took me down memory lane because, within that song, you can experience racism all over again. Do you understand what I'm saying? Tribalism all over again, segregation. You can experience all of that within that song. Do you understand? And I think I sent you a message and said, I got chills when I heard that. Do you understand? But go ahead, man.
I'll tell you, at the end of it, I started talking to this lady, Karen Solomon, and she said something that's so profound. It blew my mind. I still remember being in the room, and she said, "Yeah, I hear you." Because I said, it's shocking to me to see that the world. And she finished the sentence. She said, "The world hates you." She's a white lady, so that took me aback. And then she said, "But I'll tell you that's not the worst thing that's done to you as a black man." And I was like, "Oh, real?" And she said, "The worst thing that's done to black men is that you're told that you have to be a man and you have to be strong and that you can't cry and that you have to be the provider, you have to be all this." And she's like, "You're just a person." And I'd never heard that said to me before. I'd never heard, that it's okay. And I was having a conversation today with some people earlier.
How did that make you feel, though, when you heard those words?
I felt there was deep truth in that. Because at the end of the day, man, I'm scared. You know what I mean? I get scared of failure. I get scared. I remember moving to Lagos, like I'll just be, it's a different place. I'm scared. Today, I'm scared. I'm scared of, seeing failure around you, as a CEO,
right? Failing
as a CEO. Sometimes I'm frustrated. I'm tired. I want to give up. Sometimes, I just want to be free of responsibility. I don't want to care about all that stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you're told as a man, you have to be strong. You have to provide. If you don't provide, you're worthless.
So now that you acknowledge that, has that liberated you from those fears? Has that given you some breathing room?
This is a good question. I think that this idea of liberation is a process. So at every generation will have the things that they contend with.
Right.
I think our generation, or I'll say, yes, I guess we're the tail top of that generation age-wise. But the generation is going to deal with a lot of mental health issues, a lot of self-identity issues in a different way.
Right.
Where we almost had to, when I was in my university, you just had to hit the ground running. You have to go to school, you get being flogged was part of life, all those things, and we carried all this trauma.
Right. But
today, I think young people have to deal with the pressure of, if you look at social media, for instance.
The pressure of having likes on your page.
No, but listen, like we lampoon social media, but think about this, right? I hadn't seen a dead body ever in my life till I was maybe 18 years old. It wasn't really a normal thing. And if I met someone from Lagos, they would tell me, "Man, we see dead body on the road." Do you know on your phone, before 10 a.m., you can see 10 people die, then you can see in another second, then you can see somebody who's living life that's like making you feel terrible about yourself.
Yep.
Then you can see 8 different kinds of sex. Then you can see like the amount of information that people are getting is too much. The brain is actually our human capacity for collecting information has to evolve for people to be okay in this generation. And so we there's something about our generation that we like to poke fun and say, these young guys, they only worried about likes or whatever. It's real. It's viscerally real.
Yeah.
That is the same thing as going to school and getting bullied, or going to school and having a teacher or professor who kept ragging on you all day. You know what I mean? It's real. The challenges and the pressures of today are very, very real, and we have to start to understand that, this generation needs a different way for us to approach it. For people to be
what you're
useful
saying,
in society.
What you're saying is, what you're saying is their problems, even though it seems insignificant to us, the tail, like you said, the tail end of the previous generation, or the generation, the 90s. Yeah. Even though it seems like, oh, these guys are just concerned about very trivial things, their problems are as real as it can get for them. To us, those things are not problems. They're not issues. They're not things to be worried about.
Yeah.
Is that what you
but not even for me.
I didn't get that quite there, but go ahead.
Yeah, I understand what he's saying. He's saying that
like their issues.
Do you remember your parents telling you that your problems, that you didn't have problems?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember how frustrated you felt when your parents would tell you that, like, whatever your real issue was, your dad would tell you that that's not really an issue. That was not an issue. My time, I was a man, I was doing this. But basically, listen, as the black people have carried repressed trauma from generation to generation, you know what I mean? And I'll try and explain this in a few seconds. So, because of patriarchy, women are forced to work more when they're younger, right?
Right.
So I can see, beautiful lady in the corner there, you know what I mean? No, listen. By the time she was, I don't know, I'm assuming, I'm generalizing, but for most Nigerian girls, by the time they're 9, 10 years old, their mom starts preparing them for life. Hey, take this money, go to the market, buy this, come back, divide it, feed your younger ones, cook money for this. The boys don't get that training. So when we show up in university, what happens is that women are more prepared for life and leadership than men are.
True.
But all of a sudden, the men are left alone. But then you're also told that when you have a girlfriend that you need to be the man. So guess what? She's more prepared for life than you. So she's looking at you like
what are you doing?
This dude is dumb. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you spending time with that guy? Why are you going to go and drink? You should be doing this. But then at the same time, there's a part of your program that's saying she shouldn't talk to me like that. She's a rude woman. And guess what happens? We start to regurgitate again that trauma back.
Yeah.
You see people beating girls. You see people acting out, all sorts of toxic behavior that gets put into relationships. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, men should be able to say, and I was saying to a group of young guys today, a guy should be able to say to his girlfriend, you're 18 years old, you've met each other, he says, I'm scared. I have no idea what I'm doing. I need your help. Could you help me figure out what I should do with my life? Because that's the partnership I believe that will work well for Nigerian youth today. Because the girl is just more prepared. But she also needs a vision to believe in, right?
Yep.
So if you're saying to her, I'm scared, I don't know what to do, hey, can I trust you? But what do? We're busy trying to floss. We're borrowing your friend's shirt to try to impress her when she doesn't really care about that. And then after 2-3 years of people impressing her, then she starts to see, oh, all guys are the same. They just want to impress me. So she starts to pick the guy that is the most impressive, right? And then what do? We come back and say, she's a hoe. You know what I mean? She's all about the money. It's just this cycle of trauma and toxic masculinity and patriarchy that we just do over and over again. And we need to get to a point where men are free. We're free to cry. We're free to be vulnerable. We're free to be weak. Where women are free to be strong. Women are free to lead. Women are free to speak up and say, that's not how you should do it. I know better. I've been trained to solve this issue. Most women in university are better at handling money than men are.
Let me tell you something. I was just, crying to, well, not crying really, but I was complaining to my buddy, shout out to Imran, earlier today. So if you see the way I'm dressed, I'm a bit formal, right? So it just kind of dawned on me in the last few months. My daughter turned 10.
Wow.
My little girl turned 10 in April. Yeah. And, her mom, my woman, wants her to go to boarding school. And personally, I'm not ready to let her go. But she's like, she got to go to boarding school. She got to do it. So we took her to school today, and she had to go write an exam. And, bruv, I just kept scrutinizing everything about what the environment, if it's safe, and all of that. It kind of. But where am I going with all of this? We checked out a certain school. I can't mention the school. And when we were done, she smashed the exam. We got in the car. In my mind, I already said, I don't like the school. I don't like the school. I don't want to go there. But I couldn't say it to her because I knew that she always wants to do what I like. So I asked her, I said, babes, because I call her babes or mama, right? I like, what do you think? You like the school? And she started being all safe. Well, I said, listen, just say as you feel.
Yeah.
Like, don't try to impress me. I want you to speak your truth, speak your mind, how you feel. She's like, Dad, you know what? I don't like it.
Wow.
And I just said, you know what? you're not going. I don't like it.
Inside
either.
you're like, yes. Shout
But you know what?
hallelujah.
But the truth is, yeah.
Oh.
But the truth is, back to what you were saying. I really want her to be free enough to express herself and be strong if she has to, or speak and be emotional if she wants to. Do you understand what I'm saying? The issue here is, and back to what you're saying about men. Men want their women to be able to react to the way they want them to react about anything. So if you want something she needs to either acknowledge me or obey my instructions, or what if she doesn't like it? What if that's just not what she's feeling?
Yeah,
So
that comes from trauma. It comes from being beaten by your parents.
Right.
That's a terrible thing, right? To be beaten by your parents for not doing something. When you a lot of times, does this ever happen to anyone in the room where you were beaten but you actually didn't feel you did something wrong? Do you know how traumatic that is for you for somebody to take away your sense of justice?
Right.
You know what I mean? And our parents were doing to us because that's what they were also taught, right? So I also have a niece. She's 14 years old, and when she was 12, we had a period of disconnect where she was just she's not paying attention. Then I started saying to myself, anytime she's around, I need to stop what I'm doing and just listen to her. Do you know last time she came, she put me on Yxng Dxnzl, right? Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, yeah.
And she explained it to me, and I was like, yo, this girl is so dope. Like, she's so dope. She's so smart. She's 14 years old. Some things she may do may scare me, but really I just need to do is be a champion for her. Just be there, root for her.
And listen, and listen more.
And listen more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not something that we're taught very well when we were younger.
Right.
But, oh, man, King just walked in, and I owe him so much. I owe him so much. But, the second song we played was Another Thing, Don't Be a Groupie. And I said, when I am, how Quincy Jones was spazzing out on the interview.
Right.
When I'm like 80 years old, I'll explain who that song is about. But I can't do so now. I need my political connects. But
Quincy, I thought that was quite, I mean, you can just ruin someone's marriage even after that, But anyway, should we play the next songs?
Yeah, sure.
So, I've queued up these three. Which order would you like me to play these? And then we're going to play the rest.
Actually, play You're Like Melody, then play Stop, then play Love Never Fails.
Okay.
Love Never Fails, I want it to be played, if it's possible, to play one song by itself.
Right.
That's the song I would like you to play by itself.
Okay, so we'll just play these two first and come back, and then we'll play the one song.
Dope.
By the way, guys, just to let you know, while the music is playing on Instagram Live, we are actually having an offline debate on what happened last week on the show.
Shout out to Lou, shout out to AQ.
Yeah, all first verse. Guys, PGM Radio, we're back in the show, but check it out. You Are Like Melody, My Heart Skips a Beat. This is off the Yxng Dxnzl project. I thought I should help you out there. Yeah. As is customary on the PGM Radio Show.
Talking that talk, breaking them hits from all over Nigeria. We push good music.
When you heard that project, and I really want to understand how you didn't see the relation between what you heard and what you saw on the art cover from what I got, right? Or was
M is right. I was just trying to be nice.
Okay. You're just trying to be nice.
It wasn't really about the art.
So what was wrong about it?
So basically, I might not have even been that bad. I just think it was like I was really underwhelmed because that was my first time meeting. Like at that point, it's like M is my hero. Like,
right.
It's like the first ever album I ever bought. Nigeria, like biggest rapper. I'm like, I'm gonna meet MI today. He's gonna play me music.
Right.
I'm gonna be blown away.
Right.
And before this, I'd been following him on Twitter. And like, you remember, even after we found some tweet that I tweeted at him like 4 or 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It's like, yo, can't wait to meet you one day. You mean a lot to me, blah blah. So like, okay, on this grateful day, I go to M's house, and then he's playing music, and it might not have even been that bad. But I was just underwhelmed. I was just like, wow, this can't be the album that like I have been looking at from afar. Like, this is coming out, and it was just like a thing where I really don't know. I'm still I think I'm better now. I'm definitely better. If I go to a room now, obviously I would behave myself. But at that point,
so you feel you won't be this honest next time?
No, obviously
somebody else.
Yeah, I will definitely not be this honest.
No, I think it was.
But didn't your honesty bring about a better project nowadays?
I'm not good. It's not for everyone. I feel like it's just something that was supposed to happen at that point in time.
Right.
Because I need to protect myself at the end of the day. Like I've gotten in trouble for that same moment that brought out this beautiful connection that we all have. That same thing. Right. There's been a negative side with some people in my life where being candid is like they're like, nah, they can't handle it.
True.
So we go away. So it was just a thing of like, I felt like he could do better. I didn't think he would. I wasn't saying it to change it. I was like, who am I? Like, I'm just like some guy. I was just saying how I felt, like, and I didn't think it would mean anything to him, to be honest. But I just felt like I had to say it because my face, my body language, obviously showed.
Look, it was a 2-part question because the second part is as important as the first part. When he told me that, then I asked him. I said, "Do you know what we need to do?"
Right.
So if he had said, he had given me, I would just ignore the.
But he had an answer.
But then he said yes. I'm sure. I turned to TMX. So do you guys know what we need to do? They said yes, and then we went to work. And for me, the thing I learned, and I want to share with, because there are a lot of creatives in the room, is that you're never going to know the point at which you are operating on an old software. Do you know what I'm saying? No computer knows. It's the person that's using it that will say, man, this software is old.
Right.
And then they'll update it. You know what I mean? If you leave it up to the computer will crash by one day. So you have to just be cognizant. There's something I saw recently where someone said, I don't want to get that if somebody presents me dirt, I want to be able to take the diamond of advice from inside the dirt. And I don't want to have to wait till it's on Tiffany's. Maybe I went to one seminar somewhere, all the has-been artists are there and they're like, how could you do this? Oh, you should have listened to younger artists around you. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should have listened to Odunsi. I want to be able to, in the moment, to be able to hear in a critique. You know what I mean?
That positive advice.
Exactly. But
so
I also say one more thing, though. It also has to do with the fact that it was a room of high expertise,
right?
In a sense. So it wasn't like I was just playing my album in a room of people. It's people that were there for a reason.
Right.
They were selected and curated for a reason.
Right.
So again, within that context, everybody's opinion mattered, and that's the reason they were there for.
Okay, so I want to. We're about to wrap up the show. We have one song left that you said you want to play last, and you want to play it. It's called "Love Never Fails." We
didn't play Positive Negative with Odunsi, and you have him out here.
Yes, I have. Sorry,
you know what I mean.
So
yeah, I gotta.
You didn't play.
I gotta play that one. All right.
I want you to hold on to what you said about taking the diamond advice in the dirt.
Oh my God, these guys are relentless.
No. See, because here's the thing. I think it's a message that we both should take.
Okay, sure. I also want you to hold on to what I said about context. The context of the conversation.
Yes.
Saying that in a different context, if I had, let's say, been somewhere, let's say at my listening, I was playing my album for, and Odunsi came up to say, I said, I'm underwhelmed. I might have been.
No, the thing about it was a thing where M had already felt like the project was over, and like everyone around him was obviously even feeling that way. So it's a thing where you're in a label structure. Everyone's like, oh yeah, when are we wrapping up this project? M's like, yo, guys, give me time. I need to tighten up some loose ends. I'm going to get some younger producers to like wrap up some stuff. And then in that moment, the comment is like, yeah, we're starting again. No, we're starting again. It's like, I think you should start again. Is it that you're like, this dude doesn't know what he's saying? Or three options actually. This dude doesn't know what he's saying, or he knows what he's saying, but maybe he's too far left. And maybe we'll catch on later. Like, we'll feed these people. People are going to be happy anyways with what I put out because I'm on top right now. Or you start again totally.
Or you humble yourself enough and understand and try and see the authenticity in advice you're getting from those who you've trusted to be around at that particular moment in time, right? It requires a lot of humility to be able to say,
it does.
Okay, maybe I'm not. Yeah, sorry.
Within the right context.
Yes.
Okay. Because I know where you're headed with.
No. He's
trying to go back to that. Yeah.
No, listen, I promise you, I am not trying to go back to the old conversation. The only part that is referring to the old conversation, I'll let you know ahead of time now, is the diamond advice. Okay?
Okay.
And that one, I'm going to tell you when we're done listening to all the other songs.
All right.
And I'll tell you where I think it benefits. I've learned from it.
Yeah.
And I also want you and my bro Luce and everybody else to learn from it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we all want to be better people in life. Right? Right?
We can all learn. Yes, I agree with that.
Absolutely.
All of us.
That's your out, by the way. All right, so let's play positive, right?
Yeah, positive, negative, and now we're playing Love Never Fails immediately after.
You want to come back and do Love Never Fails on its own, like you said,
please,
right?
Please.
So I'll play positive, negative right now. All right. All right, so what? Go ahead.
All right, so sorry. So Miss Quickie asked, what was the most emotional song for you to write on the project?
Ooh, that's a good question. Let me think back. The most emotional song was... Okay, there are two songs I think about. So I struggled with what to say on Self-Evaluation of Yxng Dxnzl because I wanted to write a song about me. I ended up writing a song that wasn't about me. It was about people I care about that I see, in this cycle. And that was tough to trying to find the right emotional place to go with it. And then the second song would have been... this is a good question, man. You're like Melody also... It also strikes a chord, and then
what about do you know who you are? Anyway.
Yeah, do you know who you are is sort of like it's a thought piece. I didn't. It was not like I was coming from a place of pain. Okay. It was coming from a place of like reflection and.
So the vibe that I got, listen to it, and maybe I'm wrong, is that maybe at some point you were actually also second guessing yourself, having attained so many heights, and we were talking about this off the air before the show started. And I was like, it must be pretty hard to come into the game and the first project you put out was on a pedestal. Now, you're always going to be judged by that. People are always going to expect you to, do you understand, surpass that. So that pressure already, it's almost like a striker coming into a club with a heavy price tag on his head. You understand what I'm saying? You're expected to bang in 40 goals every season. Yeah. Do you understand?
Well, I think one of the most important things, again, for every young creative that's listening to people, right. I'll tell you, one of the great things that I've had about my personality is that I'm able to separate my life from my work.
Perfect.
So my music career is my job. It's very important. I put a lot of time and stuff into it. But anybody that hangs around you tell you that Jude is not MI. Like, we're two different. Like, I'm a very chilled person. I love playing PlayStation in my room. I'm like, if you're hanging around me, like when we're in Abuja and stuff, I like take Ubers everywhere. Like, because when you do that, then when people talk about it, it's like, oh, it's dope. It's that something I did that they're talking about, but it doesn't reflect on me. Yeah. Right? Personally. And also, you knew me before Talk About It. Yeah. So I'd been putting out music and I already had a fan base. When I put out Talk About It, my initial fan base were upset. They were like, what? This guy sold out. So that was my first journey because those are the people that were close to me. Like, I had Lindsay, you know Lindsay? Lindsay called me and she was like, Emma, you've betrayed everything we stand for. This is not music. This is not like, this is a real conversation we had. And by the time MI2 came about and people were like, am I selling out? I was already like, I've seen this all before on the first project. So it wasn't like I got all praise on Talk About It. I had to, work but at the end of the day, please, every young artist, find a place where you're outside of your art. I know that the art feels like it's you, it feels like it's part of your life, but it isn't your life because one day people are going to move on.
Absolutely.
And you still need to find a truth that you can live and exist in outside of that art. So put it to one side. When you're done, be done. Hang out with your boys, hang out with your family. Yeah. If you have a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, go to the beach, hang out. Find happiness somewhere else.
Don't get caught up in the hype for too long. All right, there's life beyond that. Yeah. Dxnzl, listen, we're going to play the positive song now, positive, negative song. Okay? You produced that, right?
No. Shout out DOZ.
Okay.
When we go to Abuja, I used my agenda to like sneak him in the project. So M was like in the room, and I know how M is. Like, if you tell M, yo bro, this person is dope, listen to him, he's never gonna check him out. So how he usually feels producers is like, we'll play the beat and then I just wait for like 10 seconds, I just hear him.
Who's the guy?
Like running there. Like, that was how he came in. And DOZ, he ended up like scoring like 2-3.
Yeah, DOZ got like him and his guys. Then
he go through. We brought the whole family.
Yeah. So again, I mean, shout out to Odunsi. Yeah, these guys have an amazing network, guys. Right, where they're all friends, they're all supporting each other. It's really actually amazing to see. Right, it reminds me of 2008 when it was like Banky, MILD, Kel, like was all the movement happening in Lagos at the same time, and also the story is amazing that DOZ. I don't think he even knew I was in Abuja.
He didn't know M was in the hotel.
So he just came to hang out with Odunsi and was playing beats. And I'm in the other room recording. But this guy here
opened the door.
I played it loud.
Yeah.
So
I played it really loud. Played it so loud. Dude was uncomfortable. He couldn't record
I was like,
anymore.
what's this? So I ran into the room. So this is what happened. DOZ, he's a young guy, but you wouldn't. Because he's a big guy, he doesn't look as young as him.
Yeah.
So I'm there standing, looking at this guy. Like, why is this guy so arrogant? Like, he's just there. I'm like, yo, these beats are fire. Can I have some beats? He's just quiet. And then the next day, I take all these beats. I go. He doesn't say anything. Doesn't smile. He doesn't. The next day, I came to the studio. He came back to the studio, and he goes in, and I started working on positive, negative. Actually, so if I had a dream, then it's gonna happen. Ain't nobody. And as soon as he heard my voice, he just put his hand in his hand and said, "Oh my God, Emma is on my track." And then I understood that what he was just shy at first. But you know, that's how things get lost in translation. Because for me, I was like, "Look, who's this guy that's feeling himself?" And he was probably like, "Em is just gassing me up like this beats."
Yeah, he didn't believe that Em was gonna use his beats.
Yeah, I mean, but at the end of the day, man, like, look, the X-Men are here. If you don't know about it, there are so many Nigerians that are doing so many dope things. The music is amazing. They're high. I don't know where the mothership is, or where the queen that's birthing all these like talented artists, are. And it's been my privilege to create these projects, and hopefully do a lot more in the future.
Well, okay. First of all, I appreciate actually that you, and not just me, but a bunch of other people totally appreciate that you have been doing this consistently, always giving people an opportunity also to be heard. And
I want to say something about that also. I completely, like, people say that, and I appreciate it, especially when they talk about Wizkid. I don't argue that one because it's nice to have on your resume that you put Wizkid on. You understand? But at the end of the day, honestly, when you're in the studio with me, and I think that's what Odinsi was touching on, I'm really assessing, are you going to add something to the music?
Yeah.
If you are, it doesn't matter who you are, you're getting on the track. If you're not, there are people that came and submitted like 40, 50 beats. Yeah. People that came with big names. I'm there, I'm assessing, I'm like, okay, this is not going to add anything. Right? So here's the point. It doesn't matter if you've heard of the artist or not. Emma is not trying to give them an opportunity. I'm working with them because they're dope. Do you know what I mean?
And I agree.
And because they add something to the music.
I'm only saying the angle I'm coming from. I totally agree what you say, what you're saying and what you mean. The angle I'm coming from is the fact that people don't even understand that it just takes an act of objectivity and honest and just sheer being generous to pull the next person up. So yes, you
to realize someone is dope
enough to give them an opportunity to express themselves. Yeah,
this guy's dope.
But he might be a threat, or do you understand what I'm saying?
I hear that.
And that's the part that I feel has kept.
I think people do that when they're not sure of themselves.
Insecurity.
So it's a complex
Absolutely.
thing.
So I'll tell you, I'm not afraid to learn. Throughout the time I was there, I was asking GMK questions about mixing. I was asking Odunsi questions about producing. I'll ask them dumb questions like, they will talk about the sound. I'll be like, why is that sound dope? I'll ask questions like the first day we met, we were having a long conversation about social media.
Taking L's.
Yes, and I'm not afraid to learn. Like for any reason, like I always want to keep learning. I remember when I was working on the Chairman album, how I keep telling the story, how Millie would open the door. I'd be voicing, and he just opened the door. I'd be like, no, Baba, free that thing. This old style rap. And I kept saying to myself, like, look at this little, like, I have hits, bro. I got plaques.
I got accolades.
You haven't even recorded one song, and you're telling me, but I kept saying to myself, like, just listen to what he's saying. Listen to what he's saying.
Yeah.
And I get that the reason why when music changes, that it sweeps away so many people is because they don't want to fail in public. They want to. You want to be dope at what you're doing, but you can only be. If I started making music in 2008. I can only be dope in it till like 2012. Then people move on to the next thing. Then I have to start to learn that other thing. And I'm not going to be the best initially at doing that, So
okay, let's play it positive, negative. All right, PGM Radio guys, I'm helping you out.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be doing this.
PGM Radio guys, it's dope. We got a full crew in that building. A
As
lot
always.
of guys.
As always.
A lot of guys. I'm just saying, a lot of guys. There are a few ladies, but
do you know the sound that comes in my mind right now?
Testosterone in the building.
The sound that comes in my mind right now. We need some more girls in here.
Yeah, exactly. But this is Positive Negative featuring Odunsi the Engine and Lady Donnelly.
Lady Donnelly.
Z.
Donnelly.
Okay.
Z.
All right, man. Shout out to her, man. By the way, she had her first gig in
she's done the second one. Actually.
Yeah, no.
The second one's Friday.
Yeah. Is this Friday? Is this Friday?
Is she going to the third one?
No, the second one is this Friday.
This Friday.
It's this Friday. Yeah.
She started from the living room tour. You remember?
Yeah,
of course.
Yo, let's check out the record. Yeah, positive, negative. All right, PGM Radio. We're back in the short bits. As is customary on the PGM Radio Show.
Talking that talk, breaking them hits from all over Nigeria. We push good music.
Hey, but anyway, you were saying I wanted you to just.
So I wanted to just say something about criticism.
Yeah, you said the truth about criticism.
The truth about criticism is that it kills more people than it helps.
Right.
And everybody has to be aware of that. People kill themselves because of something somebody said about them.
Okay.
So there's this narrative that, because I critiqued the person, I was just trying to help you, blah, blah. No, criticism is also dangerous if it's not done the right way. You understand? And that's what I said. So you have to be aware. And one of the things that you should always do before you critique anyone is to ask them if they are ready to accept your feedback.
Okay.
Just say, hey, I have some feedback for you. Would you like to hear it? And if the person says no, or the person says, hey, let's talk about this later or whatever, and just hold it back. Because, again, criticism is dangerous. People get this. That's what bullying, cyberbullying is. It's about people saying your face is ugly or what. They're giving you feedback. And most of the feedback,
but that's not the same thing.
No.
That's not the same thing.
No, but
because
listen,
some people can cyberbully just because.
But listen, if somebody said, like, when I moved back to Nigeria from college, it's the first time I would hear people say to somebody, you are fat, or you've gained weight, or stuff like that. And it's commonplace in Nigeria. People just say that to people. Yeah, you are fat. You've gained weight. Look at what are you eating? Chigirl put something on her page today where she said she was talking to some guard. She's in Dubai on vacation. Just got off surgery, and she said the person said, tonight there's a buffet here, but you should not be here because you said so to her.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. Go on her page and check it out.
Wow.
Now here's the point: if you know that you have the power to destroy someone's year with something you say, you'd be more careful with criticism. You know what I'm saying? And you'd guard it so religiously. Sometimes feedback is useless because the person isn't ready to receive it. The person is dealing with their own failure. The person is feeling it's just most of the feedback we give to people that's negative is useless. The person never is going to use it. But every once in a while there will be a situation where Emma is in the room with Odunsi. The context is set. Guys, I really want to hear your information about my album. I really need the feedback. Now is the right time for you to give it to me. Do you know what I'm saying? Then you can say, hey, this is what I feel about it, and it's best that way. You know
See, the question I actually asked you was, and
has feedback, you asked me, has criticism made you
yes,
better?
like the public criticism that you've gotten over your career, has it made you a better artist at any point in time? Has it improved? Has it improved your art?
Most of it has been just useless.
Okay.
Most of it has been useless. I saw somebody write something about my album today. So a friend of mine sent me, I'll show you the chat. She sent me a chat today where some people said, I put a tweet about career suicide, and they said, yes, this is a career-ending album or whatever. Now, look, those guys have a right to their opinion, but to me today, it's completely useless information.
Right.
I don't need it for anything. I'm promoting my project. Sure, dope, but keep it to yourself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's people should reserve the right to remain silent. I don't like something, I'm not gonna.
Here's my last question for the night, and if anybody else has, feel free to chip in.
I can tell you a short story. Odunsi sent me his first video. You remember that? And I gave you feedback about it. And I felt when I gave him the feedback, I regretted it a little bit because I felt like his energy changed when I gave him the feedback. I felt that way. But I still gave it to him like, yo, this is what I think. I think it could be better this way. But then what he said to me was like, yo, this is my first video. I really worked very hard on it. You know what I mean? It's past the point where I can really adapt. And that's what made me feel bad about it. Because at that point, what he just needed from me is just be like, yo, bro, let's go. How can I help you put it on my page? Can I help you promote the song? Can I help you? He needs my support more than he needs my feedback.
I get it.
And even my feedback, he only needs it once in a while.
I get it. Okay.
If not,
so
it's useless.
I get it. So what if you had given Odunsi that support, put it on your page, didn't say anything negative about it to him, right? And he respects your validation because he looks up to you, right? Or he looked up to you as a kid. And that validation, if he's not the kind of guy that's aspiring to learn more, becomes his standard. What if that was the case?
Look, I'm a firm believer that human beings are going to figure out their own way. So it's like saying just because your parent takes care of you, buys you food, buys you all this stuff, then your parent can talk anyhow to you. So you're useless. You're not going to be anything. The two things, one can be right, one can be wrong, right? So if what he needs from me in that moment is support, I can support him and keep my feedback to myself. because there will come a time that he might reach out to me and be like, hey, I need feedback on this. There may be a time where I may make an assessment to say, you know what, I'm going to give him this feedback. Yo, Odunsi, you wilding. You know what I mean? You need to act a certain way. You need to. But I'll tell you, for the most part, the person that told me that I need to cancel my album has been more supportive to me than anything else. Odunsi and I can open my DMs for you guys to see. We just send each other affirmation back and forth. We send each other information like, yo, this is dope. I see what you're doing. We support each other. I see them do that to each other within their group. I've started seeing, as I said earlier, a lot of hate towards the altar. Like, in fact, the idea of the word altar self, like it's starting, the way people are starting to use it, right? They're trying to
condescend.
Right? We trashed that actually 2-3 weeks ago.
But see, for everybody that's putting that energy out there, to them, they feel their opinions are valid. And that's what I mean by it's useless, because we are in the inner circle. Yeah. It's useless. Like, you don't like it, keep it moving. Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stop going on Twitter and putting out this energy and trying to lampoon the people that are, like, these are young kids that are trying to, like, do you know what young kids around the world are doing? Popping pills and these are guys that are creating a movement. Yeah. They're doing pop-up stores. They're putting on shows. They're educating people. They're making dope music. They're without any support from the industry, any support whatsoever. Maybe the PGM Club, maybe it can be Smalls, maybe like a few other people.
Not maybe, actually, but
yeah, I'm saying like those are the guys that are supporting.
I'm messing with
right?
you, man.
But then you now come and want to give your opinion. Bro, we don't need that opinion, because that opinion ends up hurting more than it helps.
I hear you. Odunsi, I want to ask you a question, yeah? You've heard the saying, you've heard you've heard people make comments like, oh, that artist, he has yes men around him.
Yeah.
Is there do you think that there's any validation to that statement? Does that exist? Are there artists, and you don't have to mention them, but do you feel like there are artists who could have been better or who could have done a lot better, but they're absorbing the affirmation from that inner circle that they're with, and that affirmation may not necessarily be the truth?
Yeah, but like, that's a very true statement. But like, it has to do more with the person than with whoever is outside them.
Right.
So no matter what the situation may be, the person that has like yes men will still create a situation where they would have yes men, no matter how many people try to criticize them.
Right.
So it's about the person. It doesn't have anything to do with who is telling them what to do and what not to do.
And again, it's sorry, I just jumped in.
No problem.
It's back to, if someone has yes men, so what? Like, do you know what I mean? That's that person's journey. The person will figure it out along the way. Like, why do I think that me telling the person, oh, you have yes men, is going to, is going to change anything? Like,
it's mostly from them. They've decided to.
So you and I have a story that we can discuss, a story that we can share about that. And one of the important things, again, I come back to about validation, right? Am I saying something for myself so that I feel better, so I feel I did something, or am I trying to find an outcome that's actually going to help the person? Because a lot of times when people are going through stuff, other human beings are helpless, right? You can just pray, you can be supportive, and at the end of the day, you see that the guys, so let me put, like, people that deal with like deep drug abuse, the people that they end up coming out of it with will not be somebody that's high and mighty that always told them, I told you so. They would always resent that person. It'd be somebody who was also in the dumps with them, right? That could just be like, bro, we're going to get out of this. Like, I understand you. I completely empathize. You know what I mean? And that has humbled me also, because I'm a very like clean-cut artist. I'm very about my business. I don't do drugs. You know what I mean? I'm like a social drinker. I don't smoke, right? Even though you talk about it on the project. And I can look at other artists and be like, oh, that person is going the wrong way or whatever, right? At the end of the day, like, that's not my, everybody has their journey, and I could just do so to make myself feel better. Even just saying that now, it's like validation.
It's like, you're trying to say, I don't do this.
That person,
that's a fair point.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we just need to get to a point where we just let people live. However, I feel that I must say that the PGM Club is important, and I think that you guys can create a sphere of objectivity. Maybe this is just my advice. Maybe just have, a section where you can review projects, where the crew can talk about projects within the, you know what I mean, fairly, and have that. I don't know, but I feel like we need to be careful with the kind of criticism that we give out. which is a perfect segue into the next song, Love Never Fails. Because, no. I explain why. People are dealing with real things. Words are real. Like when you cut somebody down, this is real. People are really dealing with stuff.
Yep.
I had a friend that called me, a young girl. She's 21, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. Like 21 years old, smart, acing her school. She's a law student, and she called me. She's like, "Emma, I have bleach in front of me. I'm about to drink this bleach." I didn't know what to do because I started calling her back. She didn't pick her phone, so I went on her Instagram. I started looking through it. I finally found someone that was on her IG. I hit the person up. Luckily, the person was there, responded, and the person was her cousin. So the person got to her. When they got to her, apparently she already had like marks on her wrist and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we've seen it play out in the public sphere.
Differently, yeah.
We've seen people who have been on the bridge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we've seen, and the initial Nigerian toxic reaction is just be like, this person is struggling, this person is acting out, this person is. Look, if you just today, tomorrow, just ask your friends, how you doing? Then when they answer you, I'm good, no, they'll be like, no, really, how are you doing? You hear answers that will scare you.
Yeah.
People are really struggling. And we need more love. We need more empathy. We need more understanding. We need more personal humility to say, my way is not the right way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I honestly, when Vico was around, I remember people would, like, one person who seems to always get mad at me for he was angry at me that why am I promoting Vico? And I was like, first of all, I love After Party. It's one of my favorite songs of all time. You understand?
And that's what Simmons was saying earlier, that the artist wouldn't even be able to get on the show if it was that.
Not dope.
Do you understand?
So what I believe is that there's a rapport that you guys have off air that came on air.
That was misconstrued.
Yes, on air and misconstrued.
Yeah.
But because of how people have received it, we want to say...
You saw the comments though, right?
Yeah. I saw... I watched it and then I went to bed and then the next morning I called you.
Yeah.
But I just want to say to them that on behalf of the PGM, your album is amazing. We promote only good music here. And it's all love. You guys are welcome back to the show so we can chop it up.
You're supposed to be a host about your project.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to fix up some of the...
no, it's already been fixed up.
Okay, cool. And then please, everybody, go out and support a study on self. I hope tomorrow there's another listening, and I hope that we just start having conversations, right? That's what the project is about. My next 3 projects are a study on self, a study on love, and a study on society. And all I want to do with those 3 projects is just have a conversation about, what I see happening around. And if there's people that's going through stuff, please reach out to somebody. Be confident, believe in yourself. You know what I mean? I say I believe in me. I'm the dopest rapper rapping. You can't tell me. You cannot tell me anything. Don't tell me. Just save it.
Tell him.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Tell him.
So let's start the argument again. I'm a better rapper than you.
Yo, listen. I know we're about to round up real quick, but a lot of us here have been privileged to be in the writing process of this album.
Yeah.
And where the emotions came from.
Yeah.
What the? Oh, you killed a rat. Oh, so you killed something.
Yeah, there's no. My hand just hit the wrong key.
Go ahead, yeah.
City Monster.
There's a lot of people out there who don't know the journey, like when you went away outside the country on the course. And could you shed a little bit of light on that people kind of better appreciate, the album?
I want to say that this might be the dopest show on radio because we've been talking for so long, right? And it's really been focused on the music. Like the PGM is really the dopest show out there. You know what I mean?
Amen to that.
Shout out to you guys. But I had an idea to write an album about self-worth. And the reason I had this idea was because when Illegal Music 3 was coming out, I tweeted one day that I feel I'm a better rapper than Pusha T. And you people all lost your minds. And maybe not the people in the room, but people went crazy. How can he say that? Who is he? Blah, blah. And it was mind-boggling to me. Do you know what I mean? I remember Odunsi, the first time we were chatting, Odunsi is like, look, I can walk into any room. I can work with Beyonce. I can work with that. I want you to say that. Remember the conversation we're having where I said to him that I asked you.
You should always look out for people who are uncomfortable when you say things like that. You should always watch out for people who are uncomfortable when you say things that make you like when you express your confidence.
Yes, because it's something about them.
Even if they're your brother or your mom or your dad, be very careful with them.
Yeah,
they are dealing with something inside them, so they might poison
Yeah. So I'm telling
Poison
you,
the well.
So it was mind-boggling to me. And then I was jokingly calling myself Yxng Dxnzl at the time, just on Snapchat and stuff, joking.
Why did you call yourself Yxng Dxnzl?
It was just a joke between us and I.
Yeah.
No, I started joking. I said I'm a good-looking guy. I look like Denzel. People say that to me all the time. Then people will come to me and like, yo, M, but you don't look like Denzel. Like, and I started to it was interesting to me how people go out of their way to tell you what you're not, or you're not as good as Pusha T. How can you say that? Are you mad? Do you know what I mean?
I remember I saw that was kind of trending back then. I saw it.
Bro,
actually.
it was like I came back to my phone. I was like, what happened? Did I leak nudes by mistake, or is it because I said I feel? The statement was, I feel that I am a better rapper than Pusha T. My opinion is that I'm a better rapper than Pusha T. Now, the initial implication for it is that Africans or Nigerian hip hop fans do not value themselves. Because if you are a country of 200 million people and your arguably best rapper is saying that he's better than a rapper from a country of 350 million people, where he would maybe make the top 50 rappers of all time, right? And your vote counts, your best rapper of all time shouldn't even be a conversation, right? But then I started thinking deeper about it, and I started saying, okay, I'm going to do the research and find out on stuff. And then I bumped into this amazing lady called Karen Solomon, who started she started breaking down, the ideas to me about self-worth. And so I ended up writing songs. The darkest moments on the album are not about me. I've been blessed that I haven't had to deal with depression, or I haven't had to deal with those things. But I've met people who have. I've spoken to them, and it's humbling because I think people believe that depression is like sadness. It's like something that it's something that you are complicit in.
As is customary on the PGM Radio Show.
Talking that talk, breaking them hits from all over Nigeria. We push good music.
The artist needs to understand that, yes, you have now created the music. You have awoken the excitement in people to want to consume that music. And they are now paying to come and see you work hard to put on a show. Yeah. Because that also makes you a better artist at the end of the day. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why, and this is no shameless plug, one of the reasons why we actually started the PGM Live was because at first we wanted to start playing the music and telling people about it.
Yeah.
And then I will approach people who do shows and say, hey, can you put this guy on the show? Not that the guy was signed to me or any of us in any way. Yeah. I just said he's a great artist. Can you put him on? And dude, even I was blocked. And I'm a media guy that people know. I think people know me, right? I guess.
Yeah,
do you understand?
definitely.
Even some of the major shows chinned me. So I was like, you know what? If you can't beat them, do your own. So we started pitching and I said, you know what? We're going to give people the opportunity to come and perform. They're going to improve by just performing. And they will become better artists. And then they can now do their own little pop-up shows. Do you understand? And in all fairness, and that's why I'm so excited. We did, for example, the Palm Wine Music, and then they did their own. They've done multiple pop-up shows, and it only gets better that way.
No,
the music spreads.
I totally understand that. I understand that. Yeah, obviously, when there's value added to something, people expect things. And the truth about it is, I'm not talking about fans.
Right.
Fans will always we have our relationship.
I think that's what we're the part he's mentioning. He's not talking about. Fans are going to say what they're going to say. But if there's an agenda from media, which is what he said. So if media, and this is the word I wanted to say at the Loose Talk podcast last year, is empathy. And I kept saying to them, if you care about where the artist is coming from, if you really care, you're gonna get the most amazing stories.
Yeah.
Like the story of this whole last year of, am I working with, I'm just talking about using myself as an example. Am I working with Odunsi and them? There's so many dope layers to this story. Like nobody has sat down to ask us the real question. Let's really happened? Know what really happened. How did you guys?
They
work?
Only write it like, Emma is always trying to be pretentious. He's working with young. Do you understand? No one has ever asked. No one's ever come to us to ask us about how the hell did you guys transition from like making music in your room to like be premiered on Beats One or having Drake at 40 and OVO co-sign you or being on the billboard. Like, let me just
see. You need to be careful how you say no one because we've asked
no,
that question, bro.
No, dog, dog, I understand. No, dog, you understand. Dog, do you know why you should understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
This is why you should understand where I'm coming from, because even before criticism came about shows,
right?
When we started getting our first like shows when we go to places. I remember Donley, Santi, Idris here. We would be, if sound check is 6, we'll be there by 5:30. We will be early for everything.
Oh, this is something I wanted to say. You see, the reason that people need to write the story, because they need to write about the systemic failure of our industry.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
People can't put on a good show. Listen. Yeah, if you go to a show, if you go to their show where they set the agenda. So if you guys want to talk about performance, I'll tell you, one day I was at home and I was just hanging out, just vibing. Odunsi came to my house. I think TMX was there.
Donley came. She just had a show there. Yeah.
And we just vibed out. Everybody that was there, Dotun was there, a few guys were there. We all knew, first of all, that we were witnessing something dope and that everybody is talented. Now, my first show, this is a better way to put this. My first show
kind of reminded of the New Soul era when D'Angelo them.
My brother, my first show was Jay-Z, Usher, Rihanna, FaZe, MI. I got my first big show. I'm being paid $1 million. This is 2007, I think, in Abuja. I go to Jos. I rehearse for 4 days with a band, 10-man band. All my guys are there. The day before the show, Friday, we bring out I used to live in an area, the village in Jos. Everybody comes and we're sitting down and we perform the songs for them. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Next day, we get in the bus. We all travel to Abuja, arrive on time. We're at the Hilton. We're getting ready. 7 o'clock, sound never do. 10 o'clock, sound never do. 10 o'clock, people are in the show, sound not yet up. At around 11 o'clock, Rihanna arrives. No, Usher arrives, and they say, no, Rihanna arrives. She performed first. They say, okay, don't worry. Have you collected your money? Okay, don't worry. You don't need to perform. It's my first. The second time this happened to me, I'm doing Star Trek. I have Waji, I have Genie, I have so many guys. I've performed it, and they tell you, you're going to do an hour set. R. Kelly was supposed to perform, and R. Kelly's writer says he's going to perform from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. 2-hour set. So the show has been delayed, not because of me. Mm-hmm. But my set is 1 hour, and I've prepared for 1 hour with a live band. And if you prepared for 1 hour with the live band, you can't make a 1 hour set 10 minutes.
Yep.
While my band is on stage, they change my stage time from 1 hour to 30 minutes. So I send a different instruction to the band. Before I get on stage, the guy tells me we have to cut in 10 minutes. And so if you're still singing, we're going to cut off the lights because these guys are pressing us. So now I'm walking on stage with the microphone in my hand, knowing that my 1 hour set needs to be condensed into 10 minutes. The next day, and I don't have the media clippings to show this, the media killed me. MI puts up disappointing performance. MI and P Square are whack. It was blah, blah, blah. They killed me. And I promised myself from that day, I said, I'll never perform with live band again. I'll never.
Wow.
Not because I don't want to, but because the system failed me.
Yeah.
And I had me out here looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? So if you're listening to these guys' music, the amount of time they spend, I'll be in the studio with them and these guys are looking for a synth for 3 hours. A sound. Like they found the sound, but then they're looking for the right frequency at which the synth. I'm like, I've seen Odunsi. I've gone to bed, fallen asleep, seen him picking snares and walking up, and he's still picking snares. Just saying, we say once I find the right snare, everything will work, right? You can't translate that energy and put it on the show format that we have today. It's not going to work.
Does that get frustrating?
What?
Does that get frustrating?
You can't. I mean, guys, everything has gotten frustrating to every level of life and every generation of artistry. I'm guessing from maybe MI and Nice, the frustration might have been walking from radio to radio, trying to working from place to place, trying to get people to listen to your music. Obviously, we've passed that stage where you don't need to necessarily go everywhere. So I'm guessing that this is like the other time. It's the time we're in, and that's where it's from. So coming from a time where we're actually spending more time in the studio than on road, walking to places, trying to tell people to listen to your music. And not necessarily anyone's putting this pressure on us, but we understand. And this is, I'll say this, I'll be very candid, there's a pressure on us, and like people who are in the industry or who have been in the system for a long time may never understand pressure. And the pressure is, I am being told, I was, before even Odunsi, like 2018 Odunsi, 2007 Odunsi, before I put out Desire, before I put out my first song, I was being told that I would never make it with the kind of music I make in the country. Which means that I have to be twice as good so I can make it away. Yeah. So that even luckily, maybe if I make it a little bit away, people in my country may appreciate me. Yeah. So trust me, man, like hearing that every time, there's a level of like.
Is that why? Can I ask you something? Someone said something to me the other day. Is that why? Tell me if this is true or not. Is that why? And it's an assumption that you guys probably place more value in having your songs premiere on foreign platforms before they premiere locally? Is there a truth to that?
It's not even a trick. It's just like
Is there a truth to that? I mean,
the truth. Of course, there's a truth. The reason why there's a truth is these people, not even just foreign. It's like the Nigerians outside Nigeria caught on to us before Nigerians in Nigeria. They caught on faster. Like when I started my SoundCloud, my largest listening city was London, followed by Paris.
Wow.
Followed by Texas. And then after a while, it started becoming Accra, Lagos, started coming back. And like it wasn't even like people who were British or people who were French, just were Nigerian kids in uni and girls that were like listening to the music. And they're just like, so what will happen is they would come home in December or summer, and they'll come home like for the summer holiday or December, and they're playing it, and they're like, everyone's looking at them like, why are you playing it? Like, you don't know these guys. And that's where it started from. It's just like, how come these guys, like, how come? So every Christmas, we drop Gangsta Fair in like June, and then December, when everyone who schools in the UK and the US comes back, they're playing it, and then we just noticed that Gangsta Fair is like, after months after we put it out, it's the same thing with everyone's songs. Nonsense Tonight took about 2 years to blow up.
Yep, I agree.
It was blowing up every holiday. It once the holiday finishes, the hype would die down. When everyone comes back again, they'll put it on. Everyone comes back again, they'll put it on. Same thing as Gangsta Fair. So it's that kind of thing where, for now, that's where the catching up is happening.
Right. Okay.
And like, it might take a while.
That's a very valid point. Yeah. Guys, we have to leave it here. We tried. At least it was
best show. We the PGM. We do this
all day, every day. Listen,
real music,
Yxng Dxnzl.
Real conversations.
I'm gonna tell you this, yeah.
Yeah.
The last time we had such a deep conversation was when we talked about Joss on and I can't mention the brand show. I can't mention the brand, but it was on another show.
Yeah.
That's the last time you and I have had we've had such a deep conversation.
Yeah.
But you know what? We appreciate you. The project, I will tell you this. If I was going to align the projects, right now, I'm going to put this above, talk about it, then talk about it under, and all the other ones under it.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yes,
wow.
That's me. That's just me. If I'm going to align them in my shelf in that order, it'll be right now, it will be the Yxng Dxnzl project. Then I'll talk about it, then I'll put everything, all the other projects. But you see, hey, it's not a fact. It's just how I like to arrange my music.
Respect. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for tonight's show. The podcast is up tomorrow at 7 p.m. Shout out to all those who have worked behind the scenes to make this happen. Shout out to all the writers, to all the critics, and man, all those who are pushing good music. In all fairness, support good music wherever you see it. All right, then, man, let's keep making history.
Hey, M. You're the host of the PGM tonight.
I'm the host tonight.
You're the boss.
Yeah.
You got that host thing going on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay, cool. Here's my little anecdote.
Yeah.
Your song brought me back to Nigeria.
Really? What song?
Fast Money.
That
song, I listened to...
When I put Wizkid on. Facts.
Wow. So I was in the UK.
Najoku. Tomorrow morning, it will just go wild.
I was in the UK and I was learning how to produce and, started putting out, just recording songs. And I was researching Nigerian music because I was coming back to Nigeria and I was like, can I do this in Nigeria, this kind of music? And then I heard Fast Money, Fast Cars. And I was like, you know what? Nigeria is ready for this. If this is on LimeWire and I can download this off LimeWire and it's global.
It was so weird how LimeWire back then was the ish, right? And all of a sudden, there are all these
And then I
got it. Hawk share.
And I was like, you know what? If I can get this off LimeWire, and Nigeria is ready for this. So
yo, we were pirating a lot of stuff for that LimeWire.
I was never pirating me. Child of God. Never
Look at you, this guy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, guys, I'm signing out. Douglas, I know you want to do the last sign out, but this.
No. Go ahead, sign up, man.
So big shout out to everyone in the studio. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for the great conversation, especially Odunsi. You know what I mean? And let's keep supporting good music.
Always.
Shout out to the team, especially Monster and Douglas. You guys have an amazing show. Please never stop what you're doing. We need to make sure, everyone listening, we need to make sure we support this show, because this show is special. It's an avenue. It's an avenue where people can come, they can argue, they can have conversations, and they can play their music. That's important. So shout out to you guys. Keep it going. Everyone driving home, whatever you're doing, if you're out drinking, whatever, please be safe. You know what I mean? Meaning, don't drink and drive. And
we lost too many for the on the road accidents.
And wear a condom, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
And most importantly, get your PVC. Get your PVC. Wear a condom.
Yes,
and don't drink and drive.
Look,
rules to live by.
Okay, so the PVC thing, I definitely want to go get mine tomorrow, because I heard the deadline is on Friday, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Please.
I want to get mine tomorrow. Please go get yours as well. In fact, hit me up tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow.
Please.
And then last but not least, you do have a listening tomorrow at Mitsubishi, right?
I do. In the evening tomorrow, we have a listening at Mitsubishi's doing Heritage Week, and it's on off Adela Deku. If you want to come, you can check my Twitter, my Instagram.
There's an email there.
Please just send an email so we can RSVP. We're not selling tickets or anything. It's just going to be dope music, dope conversations, and the greatest brand. I don't know if I can call your name.
Yeah.
The greatest brand. I can say the name. The greatest cognac of all time. It's gonna be
bro.
It's gonna be in the building,
bro.
You know
listen.
I mean? Yeah, I know. We got talks. We got talks.
Hey, listen.
Got to bring the PGM home. You know
it's
what I'm saying?
all family, baby. It's all family. Say no more. Yo, we out of here. PGM Radio. God bless y'all. See you next Wednesday. All right. Peace. As is customary on the PGM Radio Show.
Talking that talk, breaking them hits from all over Nigeria. We push good music.
She coming for the pussy, she gon' take, I beat it up.